Hello, my name is 𝙄𝙉𝙏𝙀𝙍. I'm the director of photography and the editor for the upcoming feature-length film, The Black Rock. So what attracted me to The Black Rock was the approach that Kyle Brooks wanted to have as a writer. He wanted to expand on that further, especially with the set existing. And he saw a feature film that I made called 𝐷𝐴𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 at the time was coming towards the latter end of the film festival circuit, and he recognised the merit behind the film. And I think he saw it and thought, well, this is someone who I want to work with, someone who thinks outside of the box and makes things happen despite circumstances such as a global pandemic at the time. So fast forward to when Kyle Brooks approached me to direct The Black Rock. I was inspired by the story that he had written. There were a few drafts beforehand. It even had a different title called As One Brit Said to a Nazi, which he says sounds like an Abbott and Costello piece. To me, it sounded more like a Two Ronnies piece. And I read it, and already as I was reading it, I was picturing in my mind how this film would look and how we could make it different from any of the other war films out there on the market, past and present. And I was excited to see where this would go. I had full confidence in the film, and it was a challenge for me to sink my teeth into to direct someone else's intellectual property. Was a challenge, but a challenge welcomed indeed. So the staple of war films, especially within the last 20 to 30 years, when we think of war films, we always think of it being quite grey, quite dirty, quite filthy, very realistic, and it leaves a very strong impression onto you. But I didn't want to make a carbon copy of that. I really wanted to do something that would stand out from other war films on the market. And with this film in particular being an alternative reality to what we know of the history of the Second World War, particularly British history with the Battle of Britain and whatnot, I think there needed to be something a little bit off. There needed to be something a little bit left of field to what you would expect with a war film, and to inject colour there, to have the colour be almost a character in its own right, really. Colours representing different characters, different themes, different atmospheres, different emotions, I think was an important approach to make it visually arresting, but not taking away from the authenticity of the performances as well. I really wanted to capture everything in camera as much as possible. In a general sense, I think there are a lot of films now, particularly in the digital age, there are a lot of films that are made that look like video and don't look like film. So I really wanted to approach this with an authentic film look and feel. I wanted the film and its picture to be interesting in its texture. I wanted it to feel like a film as well as look like a film. And using old film techniques, shooting at a specific ISO and enhancing the lighting even more, encapsulating film grain and embracing that, and complementing the grittiness of the story and the characters, as well as using vintage lenses as well. The lens that we used in particular for this production was from the 1950s, which has a nice soft image. So I really wanted this to feel like a film as well as look like a film. In my professional opinion, as well as experience, I think it's really important for all the cogs in the production to work. Without all the cogs, the clockwork does not tick. This production was no exception. to that rule. In my opinion, no one is bigger than the production. The production itself, the story, the film, the art form is paramount above any one person. My experience with The Black Rock is that everyone was professional. And when I say professional, I don't just mean that in regards to what their job was on set, or their assigned role and delivering on that. They were professional in mentality as well. There was a strong camaraderie. I would even argue there was not even a cast and a crew, it was a community. But with a professional mindset, nothing was ever taken personally. If something didn't work, we adapted together. There were no hidden agendas, which I think is very important. The only agenda that was present was for the film to be the best it can be, which just happened to be a universal agenda on the film set. People wanted to be there, people wanted to do a good job. And I think that resonates and that washes over the audience. It's very infectious when you watch a film and you can tell that everybody is on the same page. And with that, I think, not to be spiritual, but the energy is very positive behind the scenes that's translated through the screen to those watching it. I think that also reflects on the film festivals, why we've had a good start. As of the recording of this interview, we've had success already, and we're barely a month in. Now, why is that the case? It's a mixture of things. There's not any one individual. It's all the cogs, as I mentioned, working together, and the clockwork ticking by consistently and freely and positively. And that's, in my professional opinion, why The Black Rock is what it is, and why it's been successful so far, and why, fingers crossed, it continues to be a success.